to Biohacking Beauty, the podcast where we bridge cutting-edge science and practical biohacks to help you age younger, from your skin to your cells. I'm Anastasia, co-founder of Young Goose Skincare, and today we're diving into a topic that's hiding in plain sight but has a massive impact on your skin: water quality. We spend so much time and money on serums, treatments, and routines, but what if the very water you are washing your face and showering in is actually accelerating aging? Chlorine, chloramine, heavy metals, even hard water minerals. These aren't just plumbing concerns, they're biohacking concerns. Joining me is Leah Veiro, Chief Brand Officer at Filter Baby, and a true leader in clean beauty and longevity space. Leah's passion for merging environmental wellness with skincare is reshaping how we think about skin health. We'll explore how toxins in tap water can disrupt your skin microbiome, deplete NAD+, weaken your skin barrier, and even make your products less effective. And most importantly, what you can do about it. If you ever wondered whether a shower filter is worth it, or how filtered water actually supports collagen and slow visible signs of aging, you're about to get some answers. Hi, everyone, and hi, Leah. I'm just so excited to finally have you on this conversation. We had it, behind the scenes, multiple phone calls because I was freaking out about my water. So I want to let the audience kind of know that ever since we moved to a new home, I went through hell with our water. We have well, so we don't get city water. And the funniest thing I heard about the well water is the well water is free, but it's expensive. Because it's so true. When we bought the home, by the way, just so everyone knows, we had filtration system installed, like peroxide filtration system. And when we were buying water and buying the house and just looking, checking the faucets and everything looked good. And then within a month of living in our new home, we had yellow tint to the water. It smelled like rotten eggs. And it was just really, really horrible. Then from then on, I was really looking into what can be done and just, I'm going to spare the details, but I tried everything to filter the water. And in the process, I happened to test a lot of filters and shower heads and everything, because the impact of the water on my skin was so major. I'm somebody who knows how my skin feels and acts day in, day out. Within the first month of living in our home with not great water, there was so much destruction to my skin and how it looked. So I just really wanted to bring someone on who dedicated their career to improving people's water and making them look and feel better. So thank you for coming in.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know that story you were telling me was just so crazy. Most people don't realize that well water is untreated, and there can be so many things that seep into the water through the ground. So you're getting hard chemicals like calcium and magnesium, potentially bacteria. That smell you were smelling is actually sulfur naturally occurring, but nobody wants to smell that in their water. And this is a major problem people face all around the country.
Yeah, and listen, my husband was trying to make me feel better. He's like, remember when we went to the springs in Colorado and there was sulfur? People paid money for something like we have. I'm like, no. Thank you for trying, but I do not feel like I'm in the spa right now. That's that's not it. So I think we could start by just talking about how's the water we shower in or wash our face with really impacting our skin, and what does our skin really absorb from that water?
Yeah, so your skin is permeable. We're not a Tesla truck. We're not made of steel. We have skin that can absorb all different kinds of chemicals. And I think something that's really important to understand is the 3 pillars of the water infrastructure issue that really affect the skin. So firstly, we're going to talk about disinfectants like chlorine and chloramine. Those are used to make sure that there's no bacteria in the water and that we stay healthy. However, those are extremely drying to the skin and they really break down the skin barrier over time. I mean, think about when you're swimming in a pool, right? Your skin definitely gets drier after you've been swimming in a pool and you're supposed to rinse it off. So actually, most of the time, there is more chlorine in the tap water than in pools.
Oh
So
my God.
yeah,
No way.
and 80% of people's homes in the US have chlorinated water. So there's another chemical called chloramine, and that's chlorine times ammonia. And about 40% of homes have chloramine, and it's becoming more and more common. And this is extremely drying to the skin and really, really does break down the skin barrier. All those things are very necessary to have in the water, though. So that's one issue. Then you have the infrastructure issue. Most pipes in the US are over 70 years old. It wasn't until 1986 that they stopped using lead pipes. So many, many homes have lead pipes leading to their home, to their water supply. This is a problem for many reasons, for drinking, for children development. So that, and this, the infrastructure issue goes beyond lead pipes. There are a lot of old corroding pipes. Pipes can be leaching microplastics. Microplastics is a big issue as well. So infrastructure, $1 billion problem to fix. And it's a very, very slow, changing, moving project to fix.
Yeah.
Then you have unregulated chemicals, and unregulated chemicals come from manufacturing runoff into the water supply. This can really happen in well water like you're seeing because that water is not treated. So chemicals can seep into the groundwater, that goes into your well water, but it also goes into the treatment facilities. And at the treatment facilities, they're actually really behind on removing these unregulated chemicals because everything is regulated by the EPA and they're a very slow moving machine. They're a government organization. And so all of these three pillars combined, once you know too much and you know that you need to protect yourself in your home. And we actually show on our social media at the Filter Baby this really interesting chlorine absorption test where we dip our hand in a cup of water and then test it for chlorine. And you can see before and after that our skin is actually absorbing the chlorine. So we know our skin does absorb chemicals. I don't know exactly how much we're absorbing, but we know that this is something that is happening, especially because we know that there's drug delivery systems used, like drug delivery system patches that deliver the drugs through our skin. So we know this is happening.
No, absolutely. And also it's kind of like a cycle when you are exposed to water that has already disrupted the skin microbiome and the skin barrier, that makes it more permeable. So,
Yes.
it's kind of the problem is kind of like gets only worse once untreated. And I can tell that from within like a month of moving to this new home and having the issues with water, my skin just was so itchy. So I knew right away that that's the skin microbiome. Like when you have itchy redness, like skin that's red, that's like the signs of the skin barrier disruption. And the skin barrier is the foundation of health. Like if you don't have your skin barrier intact, you can then actually let in a lot more toxins that naturally your protective barrier protects you from. And another thing is really the transepidermal water loss. So it's even in a metric for skincare products, like a good hydrating product will result in lower transepidermal water loss as an effect of like improved skin barrier function. So you can imagine that I felt like I was so dry, just so dry, so itchy, so red, and so fast. Like, like the results of it was pretty immediate. And somebody who has like the best skincare, in my humble opinion, at my disposal, it would not mitigate the effects of water. And that's why this conversation was so important for me to have, because somebody might have like the best skincare and other practices. Maybe they're getting great supplements for their skin from the inside out.
Yeah.
All the things we talk about in this podcast. Having their fish oil, their omega-3s, to keep their skin plump and juicy from the inside out, because it's not all external. But then they might still be dealing with something that is not in their control, like unless they looked into the water. So one thing that I think everybody is used to hearing, hard water. Oh, there is a hard water in this city, everywhere. I've lived in the United States in like 10 different cities. And every time I move to the new city, people tell me, the water here is so hard. And I'm like, oh my God, it's hard everywhere. So what does it really mean? Like, what is this expression?
Okay, so hard water means that there is a presence of calcium and magnesium in the water, different minerals in the water. And these are naturally occurring. And just like I was saying before, the water, groundwater can, or water seeps through the ground and it attracts all different kinds of minerals and different things in the water. And calcium and magnesium are the main ones that cause hard water. And it's very common. And it actually can create buildup on the skin and on the hair. So magnesium and calcium in the water, you can actually see this buildup around your faucet. You can see it on your aerator. You can see that like kind of greenish white crust. That's magnesium and calcium. And over time, when you're washing your face with hard water, it can actually build up on the skin and it actually stops your soaps from lathering up really well. So things wash off less easy. And this causes breakouts, clogged pores. This can really affect the hair. It can create hair loss, hair damage. Your hair can start falling out if you have too much buildup. So this is a real issue that many people are facing.
And that's crazy. You're talking about this now. My hair was also falling out a lot more since I moved into our new home. And it's just like, I feel bad saying it because we love our new home. And thankfully we have solved the issue now because we looked into so many different filtration systems. And because of the type of the well we had, we ended up like investing in reverse osmosis, and everything is getting better now. But not everybody, has the means to do it, and not everybody has the same amount of problems we had with our water. But we were like I think the worst case scenario. Even though it's a new home, it's only 3 years old since built, so hopefully the pipes are not an issue,
Yeah.
And I think
it sounds like your issue doesn't stem from the infrastructure. It's more from the well water.
Yeah. Which, it's interesting. Like I said, I have been experienced like a lot more hair shedding than ever. And even like my baby is 1 year and 9 months now. And I was told that, okay, you have a lot of hair loss at like 4 months. Then sometimes it can be like recurring like around 1 year, 1 year postpartum. But I'm not in either one of those like timelines that we're supposed to. And I'm like losing sometimes like, I don't know, a lot of hair, like chunks of hair, which I think that's what it is. I think I built some kind of like a buildup. And I did, so the hair salons in the area, they're actually offering the service of like removing the buildup from well water. So it's like probably what you were saying. And I do know that, like we asked even now, like neighbors, how's their water? And what we gathered, it's a little bit of like also luck. Like some people don't have that much issues. And I guess I don't know, even though it's the same area, their well is better. I don't know if it's in a different depth or what happened to our well. I don't know.
Some people are less sensitive as well.
Oh, I definitely have very sensitive skin. So I'm like the litmus test of everything. My skin is super reactive. We talked about it. Yeah. Well, I kind of like, because I'm so used to it, I can't imagine not having that. Like I know right away when I put a product or something's off, like my skin will tell me right away. And I'm okay with this, like this good conversation, we have like open conversation.
Yes, you are tuned in.
Yeah, yeah. I actually touched a little bit about the kind of like the connection between the skin barrier and the importance of like skin barrier and water quality and
Mhm.
microbiome. But since you're such an expert, I wanted to hear like if there are any information that you want to share about like how does the water that we shower in affect our skin microbiome?
Yeah, so I would say the skin barrier and the skin microbiome are a team,
Hmm.
and they're working together to fight off free radicals. But when you're continuously washing your face and your hair and your body in tap water that could contain contaminants, these are breaking down the skin barrier. So your skin barrier is now weakened, and the microbiome is not as strong to fight off the bad guys. So basically, it can throw off the pH of your skin.
Huh?
Something really interesting that we do is we do in vitro testing on tap water versus our filtered water. And we actually found that there is a 13% increase in hydration when you're washing with filtered water. And there's a 69% increase in wound healing. So think about
Wow.
this. If you're dealing with acne, eczema, rosacea,
Mhm.
your skin barrier is constantly being targeted and broken down, your skin is not going to heal fast enough
Mhm.
or fast. And when you're washing with filtered water, you're actually allowing your skin to heal faster because it's not continuously being attacked. So, yeah, it's very interesting to see these in vitro studies.
No, absolutely. And with um like with Amitai doing jujitsu all the time, and he always gets like scratches all over the
Yes.
body and on the face. And so, like, I don't want to risk it, like
No.
it can get contaminated and he can get an infection. And yeah, honestly, having the peace of mind that you have like filtered water and you're not introducing bad bacteria, you
Mm-mm.
don't like overload your skin microbiome because our poor microbiome, like we've already created this artificial world where they're bombarded with so
Yeah.
many toxins. Like I since giving birth, I've like detoxed my life and being pregnant. And
Yes.
now when I sometimes step out of my home into the world, I'm like amazed by like I'm terrified of going to the malls these days because like I don't know, there's just so much dust, perfume, and like I feel like it's
No.
all affecting not just perfume is affecting your brain, but even like your skin, like this artificial fragrance and yeah, like the dust and everything. Like I don't want to expose myself to it. So yeah,
I
I mean,
agree. Oh my gosh. I notice it the most because, okay, I'm using filtered water at every touch point in my home.
huh,
And I live between here and Vancouver, Canada. I have all of my amazing filters in my Vancouver home as well. When I stay at hotels and I don't have my filters, right away I notice my skin. It starts burning, it starts feeling very dry, very itchy. It's almost like you become more aware of these contaminants when you have such a clean lifestyle.
yeah, no, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think this is like something to I don't know if you have the product for for traveling with, but like now I'm like terrified of traveling and exposing my skin to the
Right.
hard water. And yeah, you just like you have like actually with air filtration, my friend gave me a tip like 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Every time she moves into like the hotel room, she checks in. She then calls the maintenance and she asks them to replace the HEPA filter. And she tells them something like, "Oh, I'm asthmatic.
Oh,
I can
wow.
smell that." And they come in and they replace the air filter. And she's done it like every single time she's traveled.
Wow.
And I'm amazed because they do that, and then you don't have to like trust the like I don't trust that they are on time with their
Definitely
filters,
not.
like air filter changing. Like I don't want to leave it up to chance, but you know, if they had shower filters, I could ask for them to change that as well, but
Yeah.
they don't. Like
Oh my
it's like
gosh. You know what's really amazing is that we actually did a partnership with the Proper Hotel in Santa Monica, and they have the filters on the showers, in the bathroom sink. They also have air purifier, um, they're really thinking about wellness in that hotel. And I think more and more hotels are going to start adopting this because people really want this. This is a not just a trend.
Yeah, no, you told me that, and I'm like so amazed. Like whenever I'm going to Santa Monica, that's the only hotel I'm going to stay in, just because of this added benefit.
Exactly.
And we also know like a couple of hotels that they carry out products because they are already like in that wellness mindset, and I agree with you that this is being picked up, and I hope to see this more and more. And this, I also heard that there was like some hotels that plan to have like, okay, maybe they can't do like all of the rooms, but they're going to have like wellness suites. And I think once they have the wellness suites and they see how many people are opting to pay a little bit more, but live for the time of their stay in like more wellness oriented space, with the air filtration, water filtration, and whatever else they have there. I know like some hotel has like a chili pad on their bed, like better mattress to promote sleep. And I think people are the one thing I love about where we're going, because a lot of things happening in the world, but this mindfulness about wellness and like investing in your sleep and like figuring out your sleep, your air filtration, your water filtration, like eliminating toxins and endocrine disruptors from your lifestyle, like that's a trend I can get behind. So I'm really happy to hear about Proper Hotel doing it in such a big scale and like really setting, the tone for others. And I hope more and more going to like follow suit. Okay, well, what are some of the biggest mistakes people make when choosing water filters for skin health? Because that's another thing. In my quest of solving the issues in our home, I literally tested so many shower filters because, I mean, honestly, when you look at marketing and branding, the claims are kind of the same. So as a consumer, how can you like decipher it? How can you choose?
It's a very good question. So there is very little transparency in the space, and we're really striving to create that transparency. The truth is that most shower filters don't work. Most of these like 12-step, really popular products on Amazon, it's basically working for about one shower. So,
oh my God.
yes.
Are you serious? One shower?
Yes, it's basically not doing much at all. So I think the thing to look for when it comes to filters is efficacy. Products that are, one thing that I think is really important is to really look in behind the brand and see who's developing the brand and make sure it's not just a drop ship product, because technically anyone could create a filter brand, grab any filter off the shelf from a manufacturer, put it into a pretty shell and sell it. But you really need to understand who's developing this product. Is the filter actually working? Are they doing lab studies? Are they continuously innovating? And something that we take really seriously is efficacy. And our filters, the thing that makes us so different is that we're layering different filter technology, and we're also using the highest quality, most advanced filtration technologies that we can find. For example, in our faucet filter, we're using ultrafiltration membrane from Japan. And this is really not seen in any other faucet filters. And we're layering it with activated carbon. So you're getting that activated carbon removal of like chlorine, VOCs, chemicals. And then you're getting with the ultrafiltration membrane removal up to 0.01 size micron. So that is extremely, extremely small. If you don't know what a micron is, one strand of human hair is 70 microns. So this is removing 7,000 times smaller than a single hair. So you really want to look at efficacy, filtration material, and who's behind the brand.
And how do people do that? Like, because like you said, I agree with you. And I'm Italian myself. When we bring guests on our podcast, we're very selective. I just want to let everybody know that this podcast is not sponsored. We don't have any paid partnership. It's just really I wanted to educate because I know your wealth of knowledge. And I know actually we met at the Don't Die Summit.
Yes.
And one of the things I'm really grateful for this summit by Brian Johnson is that we got to reconnect with some old friends like Jack from Everyday Dose. And, we go way back and we made some new friends like you guys. And I think he is pretty diligent at looking at the data, like when he was selecting exhibitors, which I'm grateful for. And then, with our conversations, because I had so many questions and I was, you really do have data to show for yourself, but an average consumer might not have an access to you, and again, when they're looking at pricing and all of the similar claims, just is there something that they can do where it's a couple of steps, I don't know, that you want to share? Like here, when you look at the brand, look for X, Y, Z that they should have, or ask this and that question, the brand before you invest, because I think people these days, unfortunately, everybody's attention span is so short, and with the kind of the culture of consumerism, people kind of sometimes don't really invest in the time of really doing the proper research, or they don't know how to do the proper research. So is there anything that you could recommend for them?
Yeah, so I would say when you go on the website, try to look at the About page and see if there's any kind of founder story, so you can kind of understand who's building the brand. Most dropship companies don't have a founder story. They're more they just have an about that's very generic.
That makes sense. That's such a good tip.
Yeah, I would also look at the filtration materials that they're using. And if it's like a 12-step filter with just a bunch of beads, those really just don't work very well. So understanding filtration material, things like calcium sulfite can actually be a skin irritant. It's actually a chemical that reacts with the water and pulls the chlorine out. This is very, very cheap to use. It is really good at removing chlorine, but it can also deposit other chemicals in the water and actually make the water a little bit harder, so it can actually irritate the skin. So just understanding filtration materials, looking at reviews, looking at before and after, checking out their social media, making sure the social media matches what you're seeing on their website. And usually in the comments, you can learn a lot. I always say conversion happens in the comments. So I think, those are probably my biggest tips.
No, those are great. Those are really, really great. And I agree with you about the comment section. I'm personally less trusting reviews these days because unfortunately there are farms of reviews. And actually it's a huge turnoff for me when I go to someone's website and I'm about to buy a product. And then I see, let's say they have 15 SKUs and every single SKU somehow has 289 reviews.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. This is not how it works. So now website just, because I'm okay with having 13 reviews or 15 reviews. It's not going to be this high number, but they are all authentic reviews. And there, you can also look at the apps, and a lot of the apps that the brands choose to use, like Yapo or some others, they actually have verified buyer, and that's only happens if it's a person that purchased and then left a review, and that's how you get this verified buyer. But if it's just the website, anybody can write this review. So if it doesn't, and if it's not a third-party app, then there's again, speaking of transparency, there's very little transparency when you go and read reviews. Unfortunately, because we do have some great reviews and they're authentic, but of course we could have 1,013 good reviews if we just decided to write them all ourselves, which, with ChatGPT you can do in a day. And
true.
But the comment section, I agree, all the time. And I'm just so also thankful to everyone that's listening now. There have been so many amazing comments on our podcast platforms. Here on the Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on YouTube, those really make our day. So thank you so much to everyone who is taking a moment and leaving them. This is a shout out to you. Thank you. We see them all. We appreciate them. Thank you. Really, really thank you. So speaking of the the founder story of Filter Baby and the passion. Can you just give our listeners maybe just a short glimpse into it so they don't have to go into about
Yeah.
page? How how did
Okay.
it come about?
So I'll kind of give you my perspective and the founder's perspective, because I'm the chief brand officer and I've been building this company with the founder since about 6 months after she developed the product. So kind of what really sparked my passion for this is that when I moved from Canada to LA, I had so many struggles with my skin and my hair. I used to dye my hair a lot lighter, and I would notice my hair would be really dry. It would be going really brassy. I would be at the hair salon all the time just trying to fix it and do treatments. I would be buying all kinds of like products that help remove hard water. And my skin was struggling so bad. It was dry, but it was having cystic acne at the same time. And I was spending, I'm not even joking, thousands of dollars on skincare products.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah,
Like-
when you have that's just like this is your face, like it's your
Yes.
business card. You know, it's the first thing you're
Exactly.
gonna spend money on. Like if something that makes you feel very self-conscious.
Yes. And, I knew that the water was an issue, but at the time, this was, 7 years ago. I can't remember when I moved here. This was, no one was talking about water filtration for skin, but I knew it was the water. So it was something that I was continuously struggling with. And I think at the time I bought like a Amazon shower filter, but really it wasn't doing much. And when I met the founder of Filter Baby, she had this prototype. She sent it to me. She had worked for 2 years on creating the filter inside. And what I love about her also is that she's a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner by trade. She really thinks holistically about the 360 approach to skincare. And she had seen over 10,000 patients with many, many skin issues. And so she sent me the product. I hook it up to my sink. This is now the prototype. It looks totally different. We have completely redesigned it to what you guys see today. But the prototype did $500,000 in sales within 6 months of launching. So
Wow.
I knew there was a product market fit. I personally knew that I needed this product. The first time I washed my face with the Filter Baby filter, my skin didn't burn. And I called her right away. I was like, oh my gosh, like every time I wash my face burns. And I thought that was just the way that, because my skin has acne, it has issues, I just thought that it was getting irritated. But my skin is not burning when I'm washing my face with this. And like, sign me up. Let's do this. Let's create the branding. Let's redesign the product. Like, let's get this product out there because people need this. And something else that really like invigorated me was that right away, we started getting a ton of clients that are buying our product, emailing us saying, thank you so much for making this product, sending us our before and after photos. So we have hundreds and hundreds of before and after photos of people's skin dealing with dermatitis, dealing with acne, and even my personal before and afters, which we should show in the podcast behind me. They're insane. And I think also working with my business partner, who's a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner, she's really helped me in many ways because skin is a 360 approach. It's all about
Absolutely.
sleep, diet, the skincare products you're using, and using filtered water. So that's kind of the story of how Filter Baby came to be.
I love that. And I couldn't agree more that the skin is 360 approach, and that's literally the reason we have this podcast, because we don't talk in this podcast like selectively only about our ingredients or that we brought to market or products. It's because that's only part of the picture. Like your topicals play a big role, but not everything. Like you also have to look into, like you said, sleep. And we have like so much education on improving your sleep, hormones, especially as we women get older, like it's such a big shift and it shows in the skin, and there are proactive ways you can deal with it. And the list goes on. So that's also why you have been invited, because it's such a, I agree, like filtered water, filtered air, nutrition, it's all part of the same, approach to skin health. You can't have just one thing. There's, nothing is like a panacea that's going to really cure it all and, be one solution for everything.
Yeah.
And also, I'm so grateful to Chinese medicine doctors because personally, when I got pregnant, I hired a doula who is Chinese medicine doctor, and just the way she like was helping me throughout my pregnancy, like I had, thanks to her, a really healthy pregnancy. But there were so many things she was doing, like physically, like different kind of body work, energetically, and also she like kept giving me different herbs, and sometimes they didn't taste great, and I was like, I don't know if I can do it consistently. But she was like, just do it for a few weeks, you'll see the difference. And it really like was, it's so impressive, really the impact Chinese medicine can do for someone's well-being. And I mean, it's like really ancient, so there is so much ancient wisdom there. And I think we as a society, we like, we're starting to kind of like rediscover some of this, some of this ancient wisdom, be it in our nutrition, be it in the way we like care for ourselves. So I love that there is this aspect to Filter Baby, that it's not just all about modern and lab driven. There is also that holistic like thinking behind it. I really love that.
Yeah. And you know what? We're all
Go ahead.
women. We're all women behind this company. We're all very focused on nourishing our bodies, and we put that nourishment into building this brand. And I think like also with the idea of Chinese medicine behind it, something that I think is, this has come kind of a little off topic, but something I learned through working with her is about the female cycle and making sure that you're keeping your body warm and you're eating warm foods. And I think really dialing into your cycle as a woman actually also really helps with your skin.
Absolutely. Honestly, the like I think 3 years ago we made the first post about like the monthly cycle and effect on the skin, because as your hormones shift, like during your ovulation, you're going to have your just golden era for your skin because your estrogen is up and everything is better. But then, on luteal phase, you start to become more sensitive physically, because the sensitivity is, increased because of the hormonal shifts, and also like prostaglandins are up and you're more photosensitive as well. And it's like, it blew people's mind because like no one is talking about it. But I mean, we're starting to have more and more education about like cycle syncing and working with your cycle for like nutrition, like what type of food to eat and what type of week. Not everybody is doing it, but like there is more talk about it. Also like that it's best to lift weights during your ovulating phase, like that's also more and more becomes common knowledge. But like you said, there is so much more to it, and it affects our bodies in so many ways. And I love that you learned that from her, and it's just like it's changed my life once I really learned about the cycle. And because before, again, so this is off topic, but
it's a good topic,
we're all women, and like I had very painful periods before, and when I started like syncing with my cycle and just really working with my biology, like I realized that I didn't have to suffer. Like there are different things that there are things that I could have been doing differently, and I started doing differently, and there is like direct impact. And that's like really what biohacking is to me. Like Dave Asprey kind of coined the term, which is like changing your biology in your environment, like changing your environment so it reflects on your biology. And this is like, it's pretty empowering to know that there are so many things in our control. There are certain things that are out of our control. There are some genetic mutations that just happen in our body, and that's really out of our control. We can, strive to do the best and create the best environment, but things happen. But there's so much in our control, and filtrating your water, looking into your water quality is definitely one of them, especially as you were saying that somebody might be already doing it and getting this 12-step filtration, I don't know, from Amazon, and thinking that their water has been handled. Like that water is not the issue. And I guess this brings my next question. If somebody listened to this now and they're like, I really don't know. I don't know if my water is good. Like, what kind of testing do you recommend for them to take for their water to just see, maybe not just chlorine, but what other things there might be or not be? Do you have any that you recommend?
Honestly, the sad thing is that you actually don't even need to test your water, because knowing what I know about the three pillars of the
Mhm.
issues with tap water, disinfectants, infrastructure, and unregulated chemicals, you can guarantee that your water has some sort of disruptant in it. And you
Mhm.
can actually go on the EWG website, and this is the Environmental Working Group.
Mhm.
It's a nonprofit, and there's a tap water score. You can put your zip code in, and you can find out all the different types of chemicals that are in your water that are above the legal limit. So I would start there. I would start going on the water database on the EWG website and checking out your zip code. But to be honest, a water filter is a no-brainer no matter where you are,
Mhm.
because everybody is water quality is actually a global issue. Everybody's dealing with this issue. Yes, you can go and spend, money on these tests, but it's a lot. It's expensive. It takes time, and to be honest, there's a
Yeah.
guarantee that you should be filtering your water.
Yeah. No, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I know that for us, we did do extensive testing of the water because we wanted to figure out what's exactly causing this smell and
Mhm.
scent and in the color and everything.
What'd you find?
And there was like one $30 test that because we interviewed like 4 different filtration systems for the whole house.
Okay.
And there was like a $30 test that basically just told us like the common things like, oh, the bacteria and the chlorine and whatever. And there was like a $900 test, which I don't think everybody needs to take, but we went at that length. And like sometimes it's better not to know because we had so
Scary.
many things that are like a health risk in
Yeah.
our water. And it's like
Mhm.
we're showering this water, right? We're like brushing our teeth in this water. And like
Bathing your
honestly,
baby in the water. I mean, it's very concerning.
yeah, and honestly, since like moving to this home and like figuring out within a month that something is off with the water because it didn't kind of start right away.
Mhm.
And we did have a lot of maintenance and like filtration, but I was literally like showering and washing my face at some point with like the bottled water because I was like,
Mhm.
I just cannot, I cannot risk this.
So
Um,
stressful.
yeah, so definitely having that peace of mind,
Mhm.
especially as you said for the baby as well, it's like was a huge concern. Yeah, at some point we like moved to Airbnb when the installation was happening
Well,
because I was like, I just like I don't want to like you know
risk
think
your
about
health.
it even
You want to
like
risk your
yeah.
health. I mean, there's carcinogens in the water. There's cancer-causing ingredients in the water. California just passed a law protecting the water companies that until they catch up from removing these cancer-causing
Uh,
ingredients like chromium 6. And I think that's crazy. I mean, just
uh-huh.
knowing that they're passing laws protecting themselves from getting sued because people are getting cancer. I mean, that's just goes to show you what's in your water. So you really have to be mindful and you have to take it into your own hands. And I always
Exactly.
say knowledge is power. Like when
Uh-huh.
you know too much, but knowledge is power and you can take steps to protect yourself. And there are filters and systems that you can put in that really do protect yourself.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And before we go into like a rapid fire round of questions, I just wanted to see if you have like any data to share about like if switching to filtered water can actually slow visible skin aging over time. Because I know you guys made like a faucet specifically for washing your face, which is
Yeah.
my favorite. And even though we have now reverse osmosis in the whole house, I'm still using your filter. So I'm like, I'm not gonna
Yes.
risk it.
Don't
Whatever
take any
else there
risks.
might, whatever else might be stuck in those pipes from like years
Yeah.
prior. I want this filter to filter everything. I want like a
Yeah.
crystal clear water that goes on my face and my teeth. Anyway, so anything like that you can share specifically for signs of aging?
Yes. Okay. So we conducted in vitro lab studies. And one of the major things that we found was that when we tested tap water versus our filtered water, with filtered water, the skin had a 20% increase in keratinocyte cells. And
Uh-huh.
these are the regenerative cells of the skin. So if you think about washing your face every single day with unfiltered water,
Uh-huh.
water that's full of chlorine, contaminants, breaking down the skin barrier, over time, that is going to cause oxidative stress and it's going to definitely speed up aging. If you're
Mm-hmm.
taking care, if you're washing with filtered water, if you're consistently changing your filters every 3 months, like we recommend, your skin is going to increase cell production by 20%. It's going to have a 69% increase in wound healing and a 13.13% increase in moisture. So all of those things are really going to help the longevity of the skin. So even if you're not facing skin issues like acne, eczema, rosacea, but you want to preserve the collagen and the elastin and the longevity of your skin, using filtered water is just a no-brainer.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I can definitely attest to that. Like we talk about, like, skin barrier is a foundation of health. And obviously moisture is such a, like, the dehydration of the skin just makes you look older. And you can be in your 20s and look a lot older just because of how dehydrated your skin is. So if you can mitigate that, that's already going to make look everything much better. It's definitely a big component of like looking younger. Okay. Well, thank you for like sharing how the filtered water helps to support the collagen and elastin, like it's all what we want, right?
Yes.
Like, let's do some rapid fire questions.
Yes.
What's happening on a cellular level when you wash your face with unfiltered tap water?
Okay, your skin has a lipid barrier that acts as a shield, keeping moisture in and irritants out. Chemicals like chlorine react with natural oils and proteins that can cause oxidative stress. Our in vitro study data shows that clean, contaminant-free water supports better cell proliferation and wound healing.
Yeah. This really makes sense. And this is like such a motivation for me, to just make sure that, I don't know, I travel with your faucet filter.
Yes.
Okay. Can water quality impact NAD plus levels or oxidative stress in the skin? I know we talked a little bit about oxidative stress, but maybe you can touch on NAD.
Yes. So absolutely. Your skin uses NAD in every cell process. And when the oxidative stress is high from washing with unfiltered water, you're using more NAD. So basically, chronic exposure to contaminants can accelerate NAD plus depletion. And we want to absolutely preserve our NAD plus. So we want to wash with filtered water.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Okay. Why is filtering your water arguably more important than buying another serum?
Oh my gosh, this is hugely important because if you are using multiple skincare products, layering them on, but you're using unfiltered tap water to wash your face, the base of your skin is not going to be as optimal as it could be. Using filtered water will only make your products work better. And I guarantee you, I promise you, you will actually be spending less money on skincare products because you won't be fighting this fight that your skin barrier is breaking down every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would also argue that you're helping, water filtration helps to improve the canvas.
Absolutely.
And then the skincare product will work better. Like sometimes
Absolutely.
maybe you invest in this great skincare and you don't see the results because it's not, the issue lays of what we talked about, like disrupted skin barrier, skin microbiome, buildup of, all these minerals on your skin, which, might sound okay, but it's not okay because of the way it reacts with your skin.
Absolutely.
And kind of like clogs your pores. Okay. If someone's stuck in NAD plus topicals, peptides, and advanced actives, but still using tap water, are they wasting their time?
I don't want to say you're wasting your time because skin is such a 360 approach. And if you don't have access to filtered water in the moment, absolutely continue using your amazing skincare products. They are going to be helping your skin, but using filtered water is only going to amplify the results of those products because you're going to be starting with a cleaner canvas that can absorb the product better.
What filtration criteria actually matter for skin health? Such as like NSF certifications, micron size, flow rate?
Yes. Okay. I would say efficacy is one of the most important things. I would really look into lab data that the companies are sharing. NSF is important, but it's not the end all be all. Most filters on the market have NSF certification. And what that really means, like most people don't even know what NSF means. NSF certification is basically all to do with chlorine removal. And the standard is actually 75% removal. So you want to look for companies that are going above and beyond the standards. And you also want to look at their lab data.
Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely. Okay. What's the ideal longevity stack? Filtered water plus NAD topicals plus which other actives that or practices that you recommend for skin health?
Okay, so my stack right now is filtered water. I'm using your amazing NAD Plus products. I am loving them. And I do a lot of red light therapy, which I think is absolutely phenomenal for stimulating the mitochondria of the skin, healing the skin. When it comes to actives, currently I am being very simple with my skincare. And honestly, my skin has never looked better. I feel like the NAD products are just so good at rejuvenating my skin. I do mix in niacinamide here and there. I think that's really good for people that struggle with acne. But then I think the most important thing are facials and treatments. So I think keeping it simple at home and then doing really innovative treatments. I've also incorporated NAD injections into my lifestyle. So yeah, I think topically keeping it simple, using filtered water, using amazing skincare products, but not too many, and keeping it with facials.
I love it. I love that you have like, you put it as part of your routine. You have like routinely facials, you have like this maintenance facials that you have. I love red light therapy. Obviously, I think, again, it's all about like healthy habits. It doesn't take that much time, doesn't take an effort. You can stack, like you can have now what's really emerging, like becoming more and more popular is like red light therapy naps. So you can go for like this 10-15 minute nap. You can have the red light therapy on it. You can put like maybe some headphones with some binaural beats. Like you can stack this nap. So it's not just you sitting in front of like red light and, I don't know, doing work. Like you can actually make these 10-15 minutes really count in multiple levels.
Yes.
And
actually, I have a couple other things to say. Well, first of all, LAD meditation sessions are amazing. But also I think focusing on sleep and diet have been huge, huge game changers because I really, really believe in the 360 approach to skin. And I think sleep is like the most important, the most underrated thing that you can do for your health. And I feel like we really learned that at the Don't Die Summit. I think if there was one takeaway, it was that you got to have a really good sleep routine. So that's been really good for my longevity stack.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for making the time, for giving us the time, for sharing all that knowledge. I hope people have like actionable takeaways and they can go and implement lots of advice and checking on their water. And hopefully, some of you guys already have it in check and, you can have a peace of mind and kind of like feel good about the input the impact that's making on your skincare routine. So yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a great conversation.
That was such an eye-opening conversation with Leon. What really stood out to me is how foundational water is for skin longevity. It's not just about hydration, it's about what's not in your water. Chemicals like chlorine can strip your barrier, disrupt your microbiome, and drain the very NAD+ your cells need for repair. But the good news, with the right filtration, you are not just protecting your skin, you're giving a true upgrade to your whole longevity approach. And now I want to hear from you. Have you noticed a difference in your skin when you travel or when you switched to filtered water? Drop us a review on Apple Podcasts with your experience or send us your biggest water plus skin question, and we'll tackle it in a future episode. Thanks for tuning in to Biohacking Beauty. I'm Anastasia. And remember, your skin isn't just a service to treat, it's a system you can biohack. See you next time.